Ladies and gentlemen, the Unit Trust Corporation, they're taking on a brand new initiative and teaming up with Scale Up Ecosystems. And here to tell us a little bit about that initiative, I want to welcome Nigel Edwards, the Unit Trust Corporation's Executive Director, and Professor Daniel Eisenberg, who's the Chief Executive Officer at Scale Up Ecosystems. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, good morning, Lucas.
All right, thank you for joining us. Nigel, I want to start with you, if you don't mind. Why is entrepreneurship so important to the Unit Trust Corporation?
Yeah, it's very simple. We see entrepreneurship as the building block to the next chapter of national economic development. And economic development, whether that's measured by job creation, by exports, or even foreign exchange earnings. But it has to be true entrepreneurship. It's entrepreneurship that recognizes things like product innovation, service innovation, maybe even process innovation, and introduces that to the market.
Okay.
We really felt that entrepreneurship is critical to the development of the corporation, and so it's now a strategic pillar driving all our decisions, including our partnership with Scale Up. And we're really excited to introduce Scale Up to Trinidad and Tobago, including something that we feel is revolutionary, which is part of the program called the Scalarator.
All right, well, I'm going to hand it over to Professor Eisenberg to tell us a little bit about the Scalarator.
The Scalarator is designed to show that new growth is achievable, and it's achievable by quote-unquote normal companies. Okay. We have a lot of mythology, at least in the United States, about that growth are these unicorns and high-flying companies, but the reality is that most growth takes place, and the healthiest growth for economies takes place when normal companies start to grow,
right,
or show new growth. Okay. So the Scalarator is designed to do that. It's a training program of several months in which our team, which is a very experienced team of people who have grown companies, we hack away at the companies, the participants' growth. The purpose of that, again, is to show that growth is normal, it can happen here, and it can happen quickly.
All right, so basically we're taking these entrepreneurs and making it so that they can grow into bigger, larger companies, yes? That's the whole ideal.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so
yes,
tell
no.
me, who can participate in this scale-up initiative?
It's essentially any company that has stable revenues in between 3 million TT dollars and 30 million TT dollars annually. Now, having said that, the most critical factor is that the business owners have to have a fierce ambition for growth. That is the most critical thing. So you have revenues of between 3 and 30 million. You want to grow aggressively, and you want to grow by creating new opportunities. Anybody who fits those can qualify for the program.
And how do they apply?
You apply by logging on to www.scaleuptt.com. The application process is open until the 26th of March, which is this coming Friday.
Yeah.
So we're looking for people, like I said, who, and I've seen a number of companies that are on the media. We have 950 applicants from really good and solid participants in Trinidad and Tobago, but there are more, and we know that there are more that we're looking for a solid class of growth-minded people.
Is there an amount that you're saying, all right, this is enough, this is the amount of companies that we're going to take, or is there no limit on the amount?
No, we're looking for the first class to be between 10 and 15 companies.
Okay.
10 and 15, yeah.
All right. And tell me, what do you hope to achieve with this scale-up Trinidad and Tobago?
Empowerment is the key thing. Empowering and enabling our companies within Trinidad and Tobago to see measurable growth. We think that the companies that participate should be able to see somewhere between 30 and 50% growth in their future revenues, specifically driven by their participation here. And we think it's significant because of the fact that it's measurable, because of the fact that Scale Up as a program makes it scientific, virtually scientific, and certainly provable and repeatable.
Do you think that the market plays a factor in it, though?
Yeah, so let me give you an example of how, and that's a really good question. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who formed a company just over 20 years ago. and that person formed a company, and they had a symposium with another company, similar size and scale 20 years ago. That company was based in the US. Fast forward 10 years, and company US with the same level of drive, same level of expertise, was doing a $100 million initial public offering on a stock exchange in the US. Mm-hmm. While at the same time, the Trinidad-based company with the same level of everything else is surviving, thriving, but nowhere near the same level. So absolutely, yes, the market, and part of the reason that we're bringing Scale Up is to give people here a mindset to see the market as being much wider than the country, the region, and to give them the means to reach that market.
All right, before we wrap up, I just want to find out, is there a reason that we have the $3 million minimum?
Yeah, then perhaps you can talk a little bit more about the international program and why you want why we're seeing that as a minimum.
You mean the revenue amount?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Scalarator, remember, is designed to show that growth can happen in normal companies here and relatively quickly, within months, not years. In order to show that growth can happen, 15, 20, 30, eventually 50% growth can happen relatively quickly, the companies already have to have passed some kind of very simple market test. People have to be buying their products. It turns out that those kinds of companies can start growing a little more rapidly almost right away.
Okay, completely understood. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. We have to take a sharp cut for the news at the top of the hour, but thank you very much for joining us. Nigel Edwards, the Unit Trust Corporation's Executive Director, and Professor Daniel Eisenberg, Chief Executive Officer of Scale Up. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Inside the next hour after the news.